begins at 6 on your home for Smashville. WPRT-FM Peagrove, WBUC HD2 Laverne, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
All the big topics.
That's what people want to know about.
Mixed with some entertainment.
So funny.
It's not funny.
Give it a minute.
This is Chase and Michelle with Chase McCabe and Michelle Knezovic.
We got a great show for you, and even if we don't, who cares?
Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life. On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and The Game Nashville app.
And happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McCabe at Bridgestone Arena. Michelle Knezovic back in the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios, along with the reporter Nick Keyser. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Predators are finally, it feels like forever, back in action tonight as they will take on the Vegas Golden Knights here at Bridgestone Arena. Max Hers will have pregame coverage for you at 6 o'clock, and obviously you'll get a flavor from Bridgestone Arena throughout the day. Max actually going to join me here at Barrel House at 9:45. Will be on with us as he gets down here for morning skate. Also, looking forward to this, Joe Fortenbaugh, who couldn't join us last week, going to join us today at 10:15. He's the co-host of Joe and Amber on ESPN Radio, and also you see him on Daily Wager all the time. Michelle, what's up? How you doing?
Hello, Chase. Doing great. Happy Tuesday. I feel like it's already Thursday this week because I have so much to do, but got my Uncle Al in town this week, so I'm good. I'm excited. Hi, Uncle Al. I'm going to see him today. His company's in town. I'm repping his company,
Nice.
Veroni. So, yeah, excited to see some family this week.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And he's also going to the Preds game with me tonight, so
nice.
Very exciting.
Very
He's never
cool.
been to one, so.
Very cool. Well, if I happen to make it to the Preds game tonight, I'll swing in and say hi.
Yeah, there you go.
But obviously a lot of Super Bowl flavor. Jared is on Radio Row this week, and I know he's enjoying that. We'll have even more coming as the days go on. It was media night last night. Nothing really too crazy coming out of that. I think I got the vibe from some players that it was kind of like the old Marshawn Lynch. They were just there so they won't get fined. They obviously focused on the game. I thought Jim Wyatt had a pretty cool sit down with Brett Kern, Eagles punter and former Titans punter that you can read on TennesseeTitans.com. But nothing really stood out. The thing that keeps coming back, I just don't feel like it's going to go away until there's some resolution to it, is the Aaron Rodgers situation. And a lot of people are connecting him to the Titans. And, it's what we do. We talk about these things when they're out there. I still don't believe it's going to happen, but I know there are people that think that not necessarily, oh, yeah, it's for sure going to happen, but that it could be a good fit. Boomer Esiason, of course, with CBS Sports, with WFAN in New York, was on 670 The Score in Chicago. Our buddy Ryan Porth sent this our way. He was on with Parkins and Spiegel, their afternoon show, and he talked about Aaron Rodgers and where might be a good fit for him.
I don't think Green Bay's trading him to an NFC team. I just don't see that happening unless an NFC team says, oh, my God, I really, we're going to give you all of our draft picks to have 2 years of Aaron Rodgers. That's the other thing. The acquiring team that does acquire Aaron Rodgers has got to get some sort of commitment. At least Tom Brady, when he went to Tampa Bay, he immersed himself in that entire organization, and he basically became the leader in the face of the organization, played 3 years for them, got them to the playoffs for 3 years, won them a Super Bowl. I mean, that's the kind of run I would like to think that Aaron Rodgers is going to afford whoever acquires him. But you are right. If you go to the Raiders, look at that division. You got Sean Payton, like you said, in that division. You got Justin Herbert with now Kellen Moore, new offensive coordinator. You got to deal with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. That's not going to be an easy out for anybody. That's why, to me, if he were going to go to the AFC, I was thinking, man, maybe he would go to the Titans. I think he has a house in Nashville. And the Titans, I think with him at quarterback, you would give Jacksonville a run for their money, in that division with Houston and Indy dealing with quarterback situations and draft picks and all that other crap. You would have a chance to win there. I just don't know how deep you would go in the playoffs because the top 5 young quarterbacks are all on the AFC side of the ledger. But again, I just don't see Green Bay allowing him to go to an NFC team.
So let me say this. I think everybody points to Vegas right now. which we'll get to. But to Boomer's point, if you put Aaron Rodgers on this team, he said that they would give Jacksonville a run for their money. I mean, Michelle, and I heard Jared say this yesterday, Josh Dobbs gave Jacksonville a run for their money. I mean, they were in that game. They were winning that game. It was a few mistakes at the end that ended up costing that game, and if they win that game, they're in the playoffs. So who knows what might have happened with that. But I think if you add Aaron Rodgers, then, yeah, you're adding a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's just what weapons does he have around him? That's what they would have to do, and obviously you would be giving up a lot just to get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of Aaron Rodgers and giving up a lot just to get him, say it is the same team from last year to this year, and you get Aaron Rodgers, and you have to give up some draft picks. You obviously have to take on that salary, which I think I saw it was about 58.2 or 58.5. There probably would be some restructuring there to try to push that out. But, to his point, when you're looking at the AFC, and I understand probably wanting to play with Devontae Adams is very it's the shiny toy for Aaron Rodgers of, great wide receiver. But Aaron Rodgers is playing to win a Super Bowl. I mean, He only has one ring. He's ring chasing. He needs another one. I mean, we've seen, like you mentioned, he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. But right now, he's going after a team where he can try to win a ring with. And I look at the Jets and the division they're in with the Bills and Miami. I mean, you've got obviously Josh Allen. They're always going to be a contender there. You've got Miami with Tua, Tyreek Hill. They made the playoffs this year. They took the Bills head-to-head with a third-string quarterback. They're going to be in the conversation. Mac Jones is getting a new offensive coordinator, and the Jets need to find a quarterback. So that's going to be a pretty tough division. Then you look at the AFC North. You got the Bengals, the Ravens, where you got Joe Burrow and Lamar Chase in there. Steelers, a young Kenny Pickett. And then Deshaun Watson with the Browns. Tough division. When he brings up the whole and then obviously the Raiders, it's the Chargers, the Chiefs, and then the Broncos. It's no surprise that the AFC South is the worst division in the AFC. So I do understand the sentiment of, okay, Tennessee could be the easiest path to the playoffs, and then once you get in the playoffs, right, the rest is history, and you got to see what they're able to do there. So I do get that point. When you look at rosters, you have more weapons with the Raiders, but they don't have a great defense. They don't have a great offensive line. This Tennessee team, they have a great defense. We all know the offensive line needs a lot of work. Not just a little, a lot of work to do. He needs weapons, right? You obviously have Derrick Henry, but there's still going to be a lot of work to do. I think I look at the Jets still as probably the most, if we're just talking AFC teams, probably the most complete picture right now, and just really needing him to go there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a quarterback away. Now, I know questions have come up, can he handle New York, which I think is a fair one, for sure. But with everything that you just said, I've listened to a lot of things. I've read a lot of things. Mike Sando has an article on The Athletic about this, and he talks to different executives about this stuff. And one executive said Tennessee is a great spot for him. I could totally see that. What about the Jets? One exec says, quote, I just don't know that he's going to want to be in New York. Mike Vrabel in Tennessee seems more his place. Whether Vrabel wants to put up with his bleep, who knows? But Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator with Vrabel, so Vrabel could pick his brain. Robert Saleh and LaFleur are close. Those teams all have ties. I mean, I do think Jets – I think it's Jets, Raiders would probably be the top two, the most realistic. I mean, I guess Tennessee's in it, but, nobody with the Titans is saying anything. They won't say anything. That is not their MO. I am sure when Rand Carthon was hired, he and Vrabel talked like, hey, we don't let bleep leave this building. Nobody knows anything. And so I am sure that if there are discussions, they are very hush-hush. But the one thing that comes up that Aaron Rodgers is going to need, yes, you got to rebuild the offensive line. You got to get him some weapons. That's a no-brainer. But he's the type of quarterback that's going to make a guy like Nick Westbrook-Akine look a lot better and play a lot better. The key will be he needs a defense. Rob Ninkovich, who played with Brady for a long time in New England, is now on ESPN, made that exact point.
I think the hard part about if you're Aaron Rodgers, the last time that you had won a Super Bowl, you had a top 5 defense. So you want to pick a team that, number one, they have to have an offensive line. You need protection. Number two, you want a defense that gives you more opportunities. You want somebody that can give you as many touches as possible. And you look at the Vegas Raiders, they haven't been in the top half of the league since 2002 on defense. I'm talking take the league, cut it in half. They haven't been in the top half since 2002. It's a long, long time.
Yeah, it is.
So, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you have to take in a lot of different variables here. And number one, if your defense can't get off the field, it puts a lot of stress on the offense.
What do the Titans have?
Great defense.
Yeah. I mean, that is one thing, and I'm going to keep saying this. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm talking about it. I'm willing to talk about it because I think all of you want to talk about it. It's out there. I don't think it's realistic, and I do agree with some people. I agree with Jared that I just don't know if Vrabel wants to put up with his crap. I mean, he's not that kind of coach. He does not put up with diva players. AJ had his moments with Twitter, but I don't think he would put up with, as great as Aaron Rodgers is, I just don't think he would like the sideshow that comes with him. Now, at the same time, he might get over. He has been the one that has said Amy has the final say on the roster, and she might say, I want the Hall of Fame franchise quarterback on my team, and there you go. That's what it would be. But would Aaron Rodgers be a fit for the Titans? And are we getting a little too excited about this, only to have Titans fans get their hearts broken that won Aaron Rodgers? 615-737-1025. You can call, you can text. We will take those calls. Adam, you will be first up coming up next. But will the Titans actually be a good fit for Aaron Rodgers? That's the question we're asking right now. It's Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 8:30. Come on. Join Robbie and Rexroad for The Choice is Yours.
2 sports questions, 2 non-sports questions.
They'll answer a couple of questions about life and sports. The Choice is Yours is built by Jarrett Companies. You have a choice. So when you have a need for site and utility work, fire protection, concrete and asphalt services, the choice is simple. It's Jarrett Companies. For more, visit JarrettCompaniesInc.com. The Choice is Yours. Wednesdays at 8:30 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey guys, it's Q, Murr, and Sal from Practical Jokers, and we are excited to announce our brand new Drive tour.
True TV and Practical Jokers, the Drive Tour, starring Q, Murr, and Sal. July 27th, the Opry House.
This is going to drive me insane.
Tickets on sale now at Opry.com. 16 years of age or older suggested to attend. Produced by Outback Presents.
Hey, it's Jared from my official sportsbook app, the FanDuel Sportsbook app. We all have our systems when we bet, from picking the perfect upset to coming through injury reports the night before the game. But there's one thing every bettor should include in their system: the responsible gaming tools available on FanDuel Sportsbook. These tools help keep your play in check and under control. Tools like time limits, so you don't unknowingly spend more time on the app than you intended. Wager limits, to help you prevent from betting more than you should. And you can even take a timeout, which pauses your account for as long as you may need. FanDuel wants every bettor's experience to be about fun and entertainment. So visit FanDuel.com/playwell and make responsible gaming part of your system. That's FanDuel Sportsbook app, my official sportsbook app. So let's make sure that we're enjoying the games and doing so responsibly. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Valentine's Day should be a day to look forward to, unless you have erectile dysfunction. Don't ruin this Valentine's for you and your special someone. It's time to get the solution you want, not depend on the pills. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. Are you ready to make Valentine's great again and get the results you want in the bedroom? Call us now and you'll qualify MRI for the assessment and blood flow analysis, totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 615-576-5000.
Here's a Valentine's reminder from Genesis Diamonds. It's not just the thought that counts, it's the effort too. So let Genesis Diamonds turn your Valentine's Day gift into a grand romantic gesture with our Ultimate Valentine's Day package. Right now, when you spend just $99 or more at Genesis Diamonds, we'll give you gourmet chocolates, a bouquet from Ginny's Flowers, and a gift card toward a romantic dinner at STK Steakhouse. It's just one stop at Genesis Diamonds and you create a total romantic experience. You simply choose which ring, pair of earrings, or bracelet or sparkling pendant best matches your special someone, and we'll take care of the rest. And as always, we'll guarantee the best value price with no commission salespeople. The Ultimate Valentine's Day package. Jewelry, flowers, dinner, and candy from Genesis Diamonds. Sure does make it look like she's worth the extra effort. And that's the thought that really counts. Hurry in now because packages are limited. Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
On the Tuesday edition of Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace, the Predators are back in action after the All-Star break. What do we need to see from this team from now until the trade deadline? All of that plus so much more from 11 to 2 on 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Taking you through your mid-morning.
Love it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. This is Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life.
Where'd you find those crazy characters?
On 102.5 and 106.3, The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Mike Sando came out in The Athletic, or he didn't say this, but talked to two league execs, unnamed league execs, who said that the best fit for Aaron Rodgers would be Tennessee. That, one exec said Rodgers is going to go to Tennessee. The next exec said that makes perfect sense. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I'm with the second exec. I think it does make a lot of sense. The Tennessee, if they can fix the offensive line, which was a big problem last season, they sort of hovered around the bottom 5 in the NFL. They gave up a ton of pressure. They were one of the worst teams in the league in terms of yards before contact on average over the course of the season. If they can repair that unit, then they've got some receivers to work with. I think the group will be better next year than it was this season, between recovering from injury, between young players getting better. And then I think Rodgers within this system, just schematically, is a great fit. So there's a lot to like about that.
That's Sam Monson, Pro Football Focus on with Jared yesterday on Radio Row, of course, in Phoenix. And later today, he'll be back. That's brought to you by Social Furniture on Charlotte Avenue in the Richland Creek Shopping Center. Pay no money down and no interest from 1 year right now during their tax refund sale. We're back here on Chase and Michelle taking your calls and your texts. Would the Titans be a good fit for Aaron Rodgers? 615-737-1025. That's our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Let's head to the phones. Adam wants to weigh in on the conversation. What up, Adam?
Hey, Chase, man. So I'm on the fence on him, man. I look at it like, of course he'd be. I think anybody would be stupid to just say, "Hey, I don't want to have him here." And if Vrabel's like, he's not a team first guy, then shame on Vrabel, because we need a quarterback. But I would say no to Aaron Rodgers, because I think he is one of those dudes who he doesn't need to come in with the Browns around him. You know what I mean? He needs to have a pretty decent team. I don't know how many teams are a quarterback away. I don't think the Titans are a quarterback away. And you're talking about the biggest Titans fan ever, and I don't think they're a quarterback away. I think we're a quarterback and 6 good linemen. That includes backup linemen away. Also, 3 good receivers. We don't know if Burks is actually good. We don't know if Kyle Phillips is any good. I think it's the difference in the Broncos bringing in Peyton Manning and the Broncos bringing in Russell Wilson. I think they were a quarterback away with Peyton. I don't think they're a quarterback away with Russ. So, I mean, it could be really ugly. And then you got to look at a Hall of Fame player and go, hey, you're the team that made him look ugly. So you got to be careful with that too.
Thanks for the call, Adam.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Adam.
it. Yeah, I mean.
I have a thought on that.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, my counter is they were a quarterback away from going to the playoffs. I mean, right? I mean, if Ryan Tannehill was out there, I could probably bet a lot of money that they beat Jacksonville and they go to the playoffs. And are we having a completely different conversation right now? You don't lose the 7 in a row. You win. You go to the playoffs. I don't know what happens from there. You play the Chargers but you're in the playoffs. So is that a different conversation? I mean, we're looking at this team. Yes, I know they have a lot of holes, and we've talked about that. The offensive line, the wide receiver, and believe me, I know. But this Tennessee Titans team was a quarterback away from going to the playoffs this year.
They were.
I'm not saying they're a good team, but
I think I will give you that. I think Tannehill probably wins that game in Jacksonville. But
healthy,
and that's the key word because the rest of the team was not healthy. I mean, that's the big problem. Like, there's a texter, Michael in Clarksville, says the Titans don't have a great defense. That defense was so beat up.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have Harold Landry the entire year. Jeffrey Simmons was playing on one leg. You had a decimated secondary. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to you didn't have middle linebackers. David Long and Zach Cunningham were both hurt. So, I'm not saying that they're the best defense in the National Football League, but I'd say they're pretty darn good when healthy. And that's what Rodgers, I think, is going to look for. Now, he's going to look at the guys in front of him, too, and go, Vraves, what are you doing? You got to help me out here. But obviously we know that no matter what, it could be Tannehill, it could be Rodgers, it could be Josh Dobbs as the starting quarterback for the Titans. We know they're going to fix the offensive line. We know that is a priority. There are two things that I would bet the farm on. I have a farm. That I would bet the farm on, and that would be Jeffrey Simmons getting a new contract and them completely rebuilding the offensive line. I feel very confident in that is what Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel are going to do.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Vrabel, before the Rand Carthon hiring even happened, he made it very clear, like, it starts at the line of scrimmage, and when your quarterback keeps getting hurt, has about 5 seconds, not even, to, make a play, read the defense. It's just not going to work. You have to protect your quarterback. And second to what was that, Michael in Clarksville?
Yeah.
Up until Thursday Night Football, when this defense was healthy, when this team was winning, they were recording 3 sacks and an interception per game. Teams don't do that. They were on a streak of, teams like the 85 Bears had done that. They had 8 games in a row, and the Tennessee Titans had done it 6 games in a row. This is a very good defense when healthy. You think of guys like Amani Hooker, who couldn't stay on the field, Elijah Molden, David Long Jr., Christian Fulton. And then you add a hurt Jeffrey Simmons and a Danico Autry, who missed weeks in between. And Jeffrey Simmons was, holding his own out there. And I know that it's easy to say it's not good when it's not healthy. Okay, but right. The players they have, and you got Harold Landry coming back, which is going to be a game changer. Bud Dupree's a question mark, right? He's a guy you're paying a lot of money to, but hasn't been able to stay on the field. He's a question mark. But, they have the pieces to be a very good defense.
They do, absolutely. Let's go back to the phone, 615-737-1025. Drew wants to weigh in. Drew, welcome in.
Hey, Drew.
Thank you for taking my call. First of all, I strongly disagree with that first caller, Adam. Mm-hmm. And I definitely strongly disagree with that texter. Aaron Rodgers. He comes here to the Titans. You're talking about stacked boxing. The defenses in the National Football League don't respect Ryan Tannehill. They will stack the box and make him beat them, which he failed. They're not going to do it to Aaron Rodgers, not with Henry in the backfield. It'll be 2019 again if Aaron Rodgers is in the pocket for the Titans. So I just want y'all guys to elaborate on that. And thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew. If you had a quarterback the caliber of Rodgers that is a Hall of Famer, and while the Green Bay Packers didn't have their best year last year, they missed the playoffs. Obviously, he didn't have his best year last year. There wasn't a whole lot going on around him. The dude had just won back-to-back MVPs. So, I still think he's a he's a top caliber quarterback. And so I agree with his point. You build the offensive line back up. You put Rodgers on the team. You have Derrick Henry behind him. You have a healthy defense. And then, you're going to need to get him some toys. You got to get him some wide receivers outside of Treylon Burks. But he's going to make Treylon Burks look a whole lot better right away. Then I think we're having a different conversation. Now, I think if you do some of those things even with Tannehill, the team's going to be better. Mm-hmm. But, I don't dismiss the fact he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also, too, it's important to mention, right, part of the Green Bay fall this year was he lost his number one wide receiver in Devontae Adams, right? And Aaron this year, I mean, his receivers were young or really old, like Randall Cobb. And his tackle, David Bakhtiari, I mean, that was the difference in their offensive line. And he was still able to, figure out things and just barely miss the playoffs this year. I think if you look at this team, and as you mentioned, Chase, you make the offensive line your number one priority. Okay, make the offensive line your number one priority. You've got Treylon Burks coming in as a second year. You've got Chig Okonkwo, Austin Hooper, question mark. But, if you could keep him on the team, he's another weapon. And Robert Woods probably going to cut him. If you can get maybe a mid-level wide receiver who's maybe a little bit older in free agency. I know the wide receiver free agency market isn't looking too good, but I mean, guys like Josh Dobbs who are able to make some plays and able to almost win this division. That's kind of my point here, is the division they're in, and I know that, the Jags are getting Calvin Ridley and they're only going up from here, but you're not that far back, and getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Fame quarterback, will be able to make plays for you all. If you get him an offensive line, he will be able to make plays with some of these mid-level receivers. And if he doesn't have the best weapons, if he's at least protected and has some time, he'll be fine. Even if he doesn't have time, because he is a Hall of Fame quarterback and he's able to make plays.
Yeah, and look, I know there's the Texans, that with the salary cap, and the Titans obviously are in a salary cap situation. There's a lot of work they're going to have to do to make all this happen. But they can. I mean, you've seen teams do it, that they're able to work their magic. But I have a hunch coming up next. I have a feeling, and when it comes to the Titans in this offseason. We'll discuss that coming up next. It's Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Love your hair, live your life, creating custom hair loss solutions for men and women.
Want the latest on college football and Nashville sports?
He looks like 1,000 quarterbacks I've seen in a college game.
Join Outkick 360's Chad Withrow every Friday at 5 with Stillman and Company.
The coaching staff kept him and got rid of the other guys.
He'll bring opinions and charisma for a full half hour every week.
If he's so great in the locker room, then give him a coaching gig.
Chad Withrow is presented by Two Rivers Ford. Custom order your new Ford from Two Rivers Ford on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
What's up, everybody? Michelle Knezovic here for Superbook Sports, and it's the final drive to the championship. There's no better place to wager on football. There's no better place to wager on the football title than Superbook Sports. Listen, we got the Chiefs, we got the Eagles. I've been pretty confident that I'm taking the Eagles. I think they're a more complete team. I'm going to take them on the money line. I'm also going to take them minus the 1.5. I think they cover the spread. The over-under 51, I'm going to take the over. I think we're going to have a high-scoring game. And with over 3 decades of odds-making experience in Las Vegas, there's no better place to wager than Superbook Sports, because it features the best menu of prop bets in the business, and you can check out their special odds boosts and promotions at superbook.com. So make Superbook Sports your official sports book. Win some money as one lucky team wins the championship. Download the Superbook Sportsbook app today, or visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
You can trek through the savannas of Africa. Wait on the magic moment on the Great Plains of North America. Or find the thrills of Patagonia. You can book your dream hunt at the SEI Convention, coming to Nashville for the very first time. Come find your adventure February 22nd through February 25th. It's the ultimate sportsman's market, a place for every hunter. And this year, it's happening Music City style, with special performances by Lee Brice, Big and Rich, The Frontman with Gretchen Wilson, and, of course, Leonard Skinner. It's a celebration of the outdoor lifestyle, February 22nd through February 25th. Come find your adventure. Just log on to safariclub.org. One more time, that's safariclub.org. This convention will sell out, so reserve your spot today. Come find your adventure.
The big game is finally here, and so are huge savings at Electronic Express. Come into any of our convenient locations and save big on 4K TVs from your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, Sony, TCL, Hisense, and more. Electronic Express has huge savings in every department. 4K TVs, computers, appliances, housewares, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Save up to 40% with up to 36 months free financing. Score amazing deals in-store or online at electronicexpress.com. Electronic Express, we make it happen.
Now is a fantastic time to sell in Nashville, but you can't do it without the intel. And no one has better intel than the Gary Ashton team. You may be wondering, what is this intel I keep hearing about? Intel so you can sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel on where to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel that helps you win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Everyone else is getting the same information and competing for the same properties. GaryAshton.com gives you the edge with the best real estate intel in Nashville. No one else even comes close. Plus, the Gary Ashton team is the official real estate agent for the Preds. Get the confidence to sell your home and find your dream address without the stress. Call the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage today at 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com. And remember, don't sell without the intel.
Hey, it's Hutton. Interest rates are rising, but not at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Replace your old unit fast before new regulations increase prices up to 20%. Get a new unit today at today's price and receive up to $1,500 off or get 18 months of no payments. That's right, no payments until summer 2024. At Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, all new systems come with a 10-year parts and labor warranty. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, servicing southern Middle Tennessee. Schedule your appointment now at springhillac.com. That's springhillac.com.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe, and in the past, hair loss was inevitable, but now you have a choice for thicker, fuller hair. Trust the experts with 45 years of experience at Hair Club. They've helped more than 500,000 clients love their hair again. No matter your age, stage of hair loss, or budget, Hair Club can customize a solution for you. And for a limited time, you can get 10% off when you book a free consultation today at hairclub.com/chase. That's hairclub.com/chase.
Anyone want to tell me what happened? Did you miss any of today's show?
It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry.
Subscribe to the Chase and Michelle podcast on Apple, Spotify, and other podcast platforms, or by going to theGameNashville.com.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
I got some good news. Taking you through your mid-morning, this is Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life. On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Preds fans, hang out tonight before the Preds game at the Superbook Lounge in Landshark Bar and Grill in Margaritaville on Broadway with 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Place your bets with Superbook and enjoy great food and drink specials, plus enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming Preds home game. We'll actually have a pair of Preds tickets on the line coming up in the Daily Power Play. Max Herr is going to join me here at the Jack Daniels Barrel House at Bridgestone Arena, and he is bringing a trivia question, Michelle.
Ooh,
so
yes?
We're going to award people that work for it with a pair of tickets to see the Preds and the Pens. I said to him, I was like, look, we have Preds Pens tickets. He's from Pittsburgh, grew up a Pens fan, so it makes so much sense. So
I love trivia. I always have questions ready, so.
Oh, trivia is the best. And, when you work with Willie Donick, as long as I have you.
The trivia master?
You pick up a thing or two.
Willie Donick, the trivia master.
He is the trivia master. 615-737-1025. We're discussing Aaron Rodgers. I laughed at Raymond and Franklin on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com, because he said, if, get Rodgers, get a whole new O-line, more defense, more wide receivers. Where are you guys getting all this? What's next? Trade for Jamar Chase from the Bengals? Are you guys making up your own team in Madden?
Yes.
Yes, we are. We are, and going to win the Super Bowl. So going to sign Odell Beckham while we're at it. Just add him. Not this Odell Beckham, the Odell Beckham from 5 years ago.
Giants Odell.
Yeah, we're going to do that. No, Raymond, it's a discussion. Aaron Rodgers rumors are out there, so we're discussing.
I mean, but there's obviously, Colin Cowherd's very adamant about it, right? Like, it is something that, yes, it is far-fetched, and I think that I know it would be very, very hard to do, and it would be a bold move, and I even would be shocked if it did happen here in Tennessee. I think that Ryan Tannehill will be the quarterback, coming up this next season. But, I mean, these big networks are talking about it, and, execs on Mike Sando's article on The Athletic, right? So there is reason to think that they could be in the mix. Maybe not the top choice, but a team that, listen, there's only 32 teams. The Packers made it clear they don't want to trade him for the NFC. Okay, cut that in half, right? And then you take out all the quarterbacks that already have their starting job in the AFC, which is a lot of them. You're really only talking about 6 teams. Right. That could be an option for him.
I'm going to say this, though. I think it's time for the Titans to make that move that is going to make everybody go, holy bleep. Mm-hmm. They did it. Because as I think through in their history, in this, let's make it a broad conversation. In the history of professional sports in this city, by far the biggest move that has ever been made was when the Predators traded Shea Weber for PK Subban.
Yep.
That is the one that made the hockey world, the sports world, Nashville sports world go, what the? They actually did it. Before that, it was probably when they acquired Peter Forsberg. Even though he was at the end of his career, he was one of the biggest, hockey players in history, was really, really good, and they made that move for him. On the Titans side of things, I mean, I'm trying to think of just in the history that, Julio got a lot of talk, but it obviously didn't work, but they did it, and so it got a lot of talk because he was, at one time a big player. How
about a completely opposite effect? But
yeah,
we were talking today that, the A.J. Brown one, obviously not positive not them making it, gaining somebody, but, that's one of the – it's huge.
Right, and I think they've been on the other side of things. They locked McNair out of the building. They traded Eddie George, the A.J. trade, as you mentioned. But, give me like that big – just national attention move that the Titans, have made that turns out to be a positive. There hasn't really been one. And so I do have this hunch that they're going to do something. I don't know if it's Aaron Rodgers, but I know yesterday Teron Davenport was on with Caroline Willie and D-Mace and was asked about the Titans inquiring with Chicago about the number 1 pick.
Absolutely inquire, but that doesn't mean do it. There's multiple reasons, too. Listen, Ryan Tannehill, I feel, is the guy who should be the quarterback this year. Absolutely. I feel he should be the one, but I don't know that there's a long-term commitment to him. So that being said, you're right there in the market for a guy that could be your long-term quarterback. So when you have that dilemma on your hands, you have to, at the very least, find out, okay, what would it take to get there? Just in case, as you're going through your study, you fall in love with a guy. You need to be able to have that set up to where you can, have things in place to try to make that move up there. So, yeah, I think they should inquire. It's not something that I think they should do, but absolutely inquire. You always have the opportunity to put another iron in that fire, right, for the Bears to be able to use against other teams, i.e. the Colts and the Texans, to drive that price up. So that's something else as well.
That's Teron Davenport yesterday. And, I know that you gotta make the call for sure on the number 1 overall pick with Chicago. I don't know if I would do it. I think that it would probably cost too much, and you have it goes back to the Rodgers thing too. You would have to give up a lot and then pay him a lot, and you have a ton of holes that you have to fill. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying I don't think it's 100% realistic, and I don't know if I would do it because I think you're fine with Tannehill and then filling those holes in while addressing the quarterback of the future. But if you trade up and you get the number 1 overall pick and you end up drafting Bryce Young, he's your quarterback. You've given up way too much to just say, yeah, you're going to sit on the bench for a year behind Tannehill.
Yeah, but he's also, a rookie, and do you want him to start right away? Yeah, I know he would be the number 1 overall pick, but I know you're going to lose, right? You're not going to have any weapons. Yeah, I guess you then maybe move off Tannehill, see what you can get from him. You're still going to have some dead money there because he already has a big contract. But yeah, I definitely think you should inquire about it, because if you think that one of those 3 guys is your quarterback, I don't think that's what this Tennessee team will do, just because we've talked about, how the defense and the offense are at 2 completely different stages. You've got a solid defense, and this offense has numerous holes you need to fill. But I think, a new GM, right? Ryan eventually wants the opportunity to draft his guy at quarterback.
Yeah.
When you get a new GM, that's what they want to be able to do.
And that's the one thing that John Robinson didn't get to do.
No.
Yes, 3rd-round pick on Malik Willis, but to draft the franchise guy with a high 1st-round pick, he never got a chance to do that, which is a good thing because that means the team was winning. But absolutely, that Rand Carthon will want to do that. Texters on the text line are saying, and this is true, and I didn't mention this, the Titans did claim Randy Moss off waivers.
Yes.
That is probably the biggest move. Now, it didn't work because Fisher wouldn't play him, but that's certainly up there. Look, you go to the all-name team. Titans got some players on the all-name team. Julio, Randy Moss. Yancey Thigpen back in the day was one. Carl Pickens was one. But, so I think it's time, though, to make an even bigger splash move. And they might do it this offseason. I have a little bit of a hunch. Coming up next, it's the Power Play. We'll talk some hockey. Predators back in action tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. Max Hers is standing right beside me and looking great. I know I almost said behind. Now, there he is. Now he's on camera. He will join us next here on Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Want a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Preds game?
Yes.
Tune in to Robbie and Rexroad every weekday Preds game day at 8:45 for Preds Pick to Click. Guess a goal scorer and win.
I'll take Roman Yost.
Matt Duchene.
Pick to Click is brought to you by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. Visit tjandersonhomes.com to see why they are referred so often. And by Superbook Sports, voted #1 sportsbook in Vegas. Download their app today.
Preds Pick to Click.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Al Gill here from my friends at Dunkin'. Warm up and feel the love with Dunkin'. Treat yourself and a loved one to a brown butter toffee hot or iced latte, which is superb paired with the bacon avocado tomato sandwich. Be sure to try the all-new stuffed biscuit bites. It's a warm biscuit dough wrapped around a mixture of bacon, scrambled egg, and cheddar cheese. Visit us at our newly remodeled Dunkin' on Briley Parkway in Nashville or the new Dunkin' in Mount Juliet and our other locations throughout Middle Tennessee. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Want to be the real hero this Valentine's? Genesis Diamonds makes it easy with the Total Romance Package. It's the jewelry, the flowers, the candy, and the dinner out. All the key ingredients for a memorable Valentine's celebration. Here's how it works. When you buy any piece of jewelry for just $99 or more, we'll give you some gourmet chocolates, a bouquet of flowers from Jenny's Flowers, and a gift card toward dinner at STK Steakhouse. We've pulled together some wonderful Valentine gift ideas for the occasion. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, affordable timeless gifts she can enjoy for years. And of course, if you're thinking of getting engaged this Valentine's, Genesis can create the ring of her dreams with our dazzling GIA diamonds and designer mountings. Unlimited possibilities. So bring the sparkle and the romance with one-stop shopping at Genesis Diamonds. Spend just $99 or more with us and get the flowers, the chocolate, and gift card for dinner as our gift. Happy Valentine's Day from Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. Limited quantity. See store for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
We try to stay cool by being on social media.
I'm with it. I'm hip.
Follow us on Twitter at 1025thegame and on Instagram at 1025thegame Nashville.
Hey!
Oh yeah, and like us on Facebook too.
Well, you've got the whole world listening. What do you got to say?
You're listening to Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life. On 1025 and 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app. It's time for the Daily Power Play.
And the score! A power play goal for the Predators.
Covering the Predators and the NHL.
With a shot that stopped by Saros.
Now on Chase and Michelle.
Join 102.5 and 106.3 The Game this Saturday at 3rd and Home, located at 919 3rd Avenue North in Germantown for a Preds watch party as the Preds take on the Philadelphia Flyers at 11:30. Come watch the game, get some Preds swag, and also enter to win tickets to an upcoming Preds home game. Back here on Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McCabe, Michelle Knezovic, and Max Hers has stopped by. Max will be on the pre and post tonight, starting at 6 o'clock as the Predators are finally back in action against the Vegas Golden Knights. Max, what's up, my friend?
Hey, guys. Great to see you, Chase, and Michelle. I'm sorry
Great to hear my voice.
Here in person. It's always great to hear your voice.
She's the voice of reason.
Oh, God. We're in trouble.
She's my conscience. That's what we'll go with. But, yeah, it's nice that after 11 days or whatever it's been, it feels like forever. We just saw Preds GM David Poile walk by as they get ready for morning skate. I know they've had a couple of days of practice, but this team is riding a 3-game winning streak going into this break. They had that meeting. You could tell they were playing a lot better. Guys are on the same page. But how tough is it going to be for John Hynes to get that to carry over after this break?
Well, it's definitely a long time off. But I think the way they played going into the break proved something to the team internally. Yeah. Those last 3 games here against 3 teams that are definitely all 3 going to be in the playoffs, in the Kings, the Jets, and the Devils. Teams that are all ahead of you decisively right now and are where you want to be in the top 3 in their divisions and not really even flirting with the wild card for the most part. Maybe the Kings could end up there, but Jets are definitely going to be first or second in the Central. Devils are probably going to be top 3 in the Metro unless the Penguins or the Capitals really turn it on down the stretch. You beat 3 really good teams in 3 really different ways at home, and there was production from the guys who needed to produce, namely Matt Duchene and Philip Forsberg, who have Cody Glass in between them now. And then on the power play, Johansson and Granlund got in on the act too, and everybody you needed to score was scoring. UC Saros was great in all 3 games. He didn't need to hold him to 1 goal all 3 games, which was huge. And it was a complete full team effort, and it's just a matter of, are you going to handle the week off equally as well or hopefully better than another playoff team in Vegas that you're going to play tonight did?
Yeah, and now you're going to get tested because you're playing a really good Vegas team. Now, Vegas is 2-6-2 in their last 10. So Vegas has been going the wrong way where the Predators have been going the right way. But I think if, especially coming off a break, you don't look at that record. You know what Vegas has. They have a lot of firepower. And this is one of those measuring stick type games. And then you have another few days off before you play again on Saturday with the matinee in Philadelphia. So I think this is obviously an important one to continue the win streak, because if you look at just ahead in the standings, there's a team that people should be familiar with, Colorado Avalanche, that they're heating up. They're 7-3-0 in their last 10, and they are 3 points ahead of the Predators right now. If I'm Dallas, Winnipeg, and Minnesota, I'm keeping one eye on the rearview mirror because I see Colorado coming.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think the national kind of talk about the NHL this year has been the Bruins are the best team by far.
Yeah.
Which is obvious.
Yeah.
And then you can make the argument the next 4 best teams are all Eastern Conference teams in the Maple Leafs, the Hurricanes, and then potentially the Lightning, the Devils, the Rangers, even the Islanders. If
Islanders just made a big move.
But the thing is, who is the best team in the West right now? In standings points, it's the Stars.
Right.
It was the Golden Knights for a while. Like too. Until somebody beats them in a 7-game series, the Avalanche are still the best team in the West. I don't care where they are right now. So that's the crazy part of all this. I was going to say the wild card in all this, but that means something else when you're looking at playoffs. So I'll use a different term, but you have to assume the Avalanche are going to get in. And if the Predators are looking at who are we going to overtake, you got to imagine it's going to be Nashville and Colorado both jumping in there, probably bumping Minnesota out, who, like you said, Preds will play soon, 2 weekends from now.
Yep.
That'll be a big game. Only play them 3 times this year because the division schedule is very odd and people are trying to change it. But it's interesting to see who's in spots, who's not in spots. And I just don't think until the Avalanche lose a playoff series that anybody else is the favorite in the West. I don't care what number's next to their name if they get in.
Max Hers is with us here at the Jack Daniels Barrel House. Predators and Golden Knights later tonight. We saw the first, I'll say, skate drop instead of shoe when it comes to the approaching trade deadline. Bo Horvat dealt from Vancouver to the New York Islanders, and then he signs a long-term extension with the Islanders. I know when I sat down with David Poyle a couple of weeks ago, he said it was going to be hard to really read what the trade deadline was going to be until you got right up on it. Well, we're close. Now, the Predators, I think, are still in that purgatory land of, do you want to sell? Do you want to buy? Do you want to soft sell? Do you want to soft buy? Do you want to stand pat? That I don't really think he knows exactly what to do yet because of what you just mentioned. There's not a team in the West that really pops out at you. The only team that I could tell you that is probably about to go into sell mode is St. Louis because they've lost 5 in a row. They've been hurt all year. Things are just not going the right way. But, Dallas, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Colorado, Nashville, and the Central are all right there together. I mean, Dallas obviously is at the top. But how do you kind of view, one, the Horvat trade and how that could affect the trade market?
I have a lot of kind of varying thoughts on all of it. First of all, as someone who covers the Predators and announces for the Predators and want the Predators to be jumping teams in the division, St. Louis Blues, sell away.
Yeah.
Break it up.
Yeah.
Break it up. That was a good team really recently.
Yeah.
Break it up. Make my day, please. And I think they will. I think you're right. And the other part of we don't know who the best teams are in the West. We know who the good teams are in the East. We do know who the terrible teams are.
Yes.
There are 9 terrible teams in the NHL this season. 9 terrible teams that
Arizona,
all want Connor Bedard.
Chicago, Anaheim, San Jose. Do you put Vancouver?
Yep, Vancouver's one.
And then in the West, Montreal, Detroit, Ottawa,
and
Philadelphia.
Philly and Columbus. I don't count Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit's an in-between.
Yeah.
Because they're slightly maybe trying to win until they trade Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
But if you include Detroit, that's 10.
Right.
There are going to be a lot of players available for trade because all those teams are going to want to nosedive below the playoff curve and give somebody up. So if you're someone like the Predators, who probably have more cap space to work with than just about every other team that will definitely be buying, even though you're not a 100% definite buyer right now, you got to find out who's available because I think there could be more supply than demand. And I like the way you put soft buy. What they did last year, I would consider a soft buy. Yeah, they gave up a second-round pick, which is pretty major trade capital, but they got Jeremy Lauzon, who's been an important defenseman this year, who's played in almost every game, and then they locked him up to a 4-year contract.
Right.
That's just as valuable as a second-round pick, if not more. To have an NHL-caliber player on a very affordable long-term deal who fits your mold, I think they should go for another player like that to maybe fill another spot on defense, especially if they continue to have injuries there. And then also look at some of the top-end guys who could be available, even if it's somebody who could play on your third line or maybe someone who plays on your second line and bump someone like Niederreiter down a spot. I think they could get pretty creative just because there are so many teams that would rather have Connor Bedard and lose every game in regulation the rest of the season than try to win anything.
He's Max Hers here with us. He'll have pregame coverage at 6 o'clock tonight on these airwaves. Let's give away a pair of tickets to the Predators and the Penguins. I thought this was perfect for you on February 28th at Bridgestone Arena. It's Western Kentucky night, and so you can buy that college night package and get that hat, the co-branded hat, to represent the Hilltoppers and the Predators on February 28th. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets and don't miss out. But Max has a trivia question. You must answer it to Nick Keyser back at the studio. Max, go ahead.
Make sure you say go Tops to Nick when he answers
Yes.
the phone, by the way, WKU alum. So I actually surprised myself with this one a little bit. It is both easier and harder than I thought. So the Preds are playing the Golden Knights tonight. There are 6 players in the Golden Knights' now 6-year history who have played for both the Predators and the Golden Knights. 2 of them are pretty obvious. Cody Glass, who is currently on the Preds, who we got from the Golden Knights, and then James Neal, who was the expansion draft pick. There are 4 others. Call in and tell Nick any of the 4.
Just got to name one.
Yep. First one to do it of the 4. They are all relatively recent Predators within the last 6 years.
Okay.
4 other Golden Knight Predators who played for both teams who are not James Neal and Cody Glass. And none of them will be in the game tonight. All of them are currently on other teams.
Max.
Max has made this kind of
One of them I actually don't think is in the NHL anymore.
I thought you were going to say name all 6 for a second.
Yeah, no. 615-737-1025.
Nick has also just texted me, James Neal is one. Then followed it up with, oof.
615-737-1025. You must call and tell Nick Keyser and just name one of those 4 players, and you'll win a pair of tickets to see the Predators and the Pittsburgh Penguins at Bridgestone Arena on Tuesday, February 28th. Max, thanks so much for stopping by. Enjoy morning skate.
Thank you, guys. I honestly don't think, if no one gets this right, we'll give them to a caller at the end of the next segment.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll stick around for the next segment to either congratulate whoever got it or say who they were.
Okay, sounds good.
No.
He's Max. Oh, well, Michelle says no. Michelle is the voice.
Michelle, do you know who any of the 4 are?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to say.
There you go. 615-737-1025. Phones are lighting up for sure. Coming up next, we'll get back into the NFL and the Super Bowl. It was media night, and I have received a quote from a certain wide receiver from the Eagles that I have to share because it is fantastic. We'll do that next. Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Sometimes he gets lonely and needs some company.
10 for 17 for 45 yards in his career with 1 interception.
This is one of those years where it's a step back for them.
And that'll create more one-on-one situations and make it easier for him to throw the ball down the field.
It's Stillman and Company.
You've got real talent.
With Jared Stillman. Weekdays from 2 to 6 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Call in the Morning Drive with Robbie and Rexroad this week for your chance to win a 4-pack of wristbands to the 50th Annual National Wild Turkey Federation Convention at Opryland, February 16th through the 18th. And be sure to click on the contest tabs at thegamenashville.com for another chance to win.
Hey, it's Jared with my friends at Hiller. Kick off the new year with new upgrades for your home. This month, when you buy something you need for your home, Hiller will give you something you want. Pick your prize. Get a free 55-inch TV, Apple iPad, Solo Stove, or Nintendo Switch when you purchase new whole home generators or select new HVAC systems. Or a free 55-inch TV, Nintendo Switch, or Solo Stove when you upgrade to a new tankless water heater. There's no better time to take care of necessary home replacements, so call Hiller. That's Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau. I like a certain je ne sais quoi. While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
At 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, we recognize our veterans, active military, and first responders with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Now, your Game Center update.
The Nashville Predators are back in action tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. Pre-game at 6 with puck drop at 7 right here on 102.5 The Game. The Preds signed forward Cole Smith yesterday to a 1-year contract extension. The forward has 10 points so far this season. And General Manager David Poile joined Robbie and Rexroad today, addressing his feelings about the team coming out of the All-Star break.
The confidence is there, and it starts in goal with our All-Star goalie, Saros, and I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to have a really good finish here. So it starts tonight.
And the Denver Broncos introduced Sean Payton as their next head coach of the franchise yesterday, and Brian Flores has accepted the vacant defensive coordinator job with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Nick Keyser for 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 102.5 The Game or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators. 102.5 and 106.3.
A betting performance.
Do your job.
And the Tigers regain the lead.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
All the big topics.
That's what people want to know about.
Mixed with some entertainment.
So funny. It's not funny.
Give it a minute. This is Chase and Michelle with Chase McCabe and Michelle Knezovic.
We got a great show for you, and even if we don't, who cares?
Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life. On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McCabe at the Jack Daniels Barrel House at Bridgestone Arena. Michelle Knezovic is back at the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios alongside with the ace reporter Nick Keyser. Max Hers has hung out because guys and girl, we have a problem. We don't have a winner yet because Max made this question way too hard. Even though I got one of the most obscure.
How about this? I have a trivia question if we want to do a new one.
Max, do we want to do a new one?
Yeah, but can I say the answers first?
Yeah, say the answers.
All right, so there ended up being, like I said, I kind of surprised myself with how hard this was. There were a lot of them. So players who have played for both the Predators and the Golden Knights in the brief 6-year history of Vegas. Cody Glass, who is on the Predators now. James Neal, who was the expansion draft pick. Those were, in my opinion, the two obvious ones.
Yep.
And then there are 4 more, 2 of which are extremely hard. I guess 3 of which are extremely hard. One of which was a little manageable, which was Eric Halla.
Yeah. And then I said an obscure one.
You got
Brad Hunt.
Tell me what you got. Brad Hunt, Preds legend Brad Hunt. Then the other 2, the most recent Pred of the group, although he was barely on the Golden Knights at all, was Nick Cousins.
Yeah,
who was there for fewer than 10 regular season games.
Nick, did you know that?
Yes, I did know that Cousins played there because I got too many cousin jokes with my cousins, literally.
Nick's Cousins. Yeah, that's a good one. And then the last one,
funny.
another Predators legend who once scored a very big shootout goal in this arena, the great Daniel Carr.
Ah, yes, Daniel Carr. Who could forget? All right, Michelle.
New question, Michelle.
Michelle, give
Okay,
us the new question.
New question in honor of the Super Bowl. There are 5 universities that had a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback go there. Name one of the colleges.
What?
Western Kentucky.
That actually, no.
No.
What?
It's not that hard, I promise
It's in line
you.
with the theme.
All right, 615-737-1025. First person to get it right wins a pair of tickets to Predators and Penguins.
Chase is like, what the?
Cliff McCardle and Promotions, I promise we're going to give these away. We just keep making the trivia questions way too hard, but I promise we will. Willie right now, well, he's probably in a production meeting, but
I bet you Willie knows one of these.
Willie probably does know one of these. So, okay. Well, all right. You just sent an obvious answer, but okay.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah, looking at your text. But 615-737-1025. All right.
That's not obvious. That's a random college.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the people say. So I was sent a quote from a certain Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver during media night last night. And I know we'll have the audio later, but I want to read this to you, Michelle, and have you react. The
Okay,
question.
let's hear it.
How do you feel about how you made it to the Super Bowl and the Titans didn't make the playoffs?
Oh, gosh.
The answer, obviously we know who it is, A.J. Brown. I have no comment, but I did expect that question from you, he says with a smile. Who could have asked that question?
Ding, 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 Mr. 2 o'clock.
That is right. Jared Stillman, of course, asking that question. And you know that it may – by the way,
Good for AJ.
Jared has had quite the 24 hours because we played the clip from Boomer Esiason earlier from 670 The Score in Chicago that Ryan Porth sent to us. And so, of course, that gets sent during the afternoon show. Jared uses it on his show and makes a big deal about it. Well, about an hour later on Parkins and Spiegel, the afternoon show on 670 The Score, they basically spend 5 minutes talking about Jared and Jared's overreaction to the clip and making a big deal that, Jared's on Radio Row and they're not, and they're making fun of Porth, and it was fantastic. So Jared has gotten a lot of attention the last few hours. But look, somebody was going to ask the question whether it was Jared or not. I mean, I know Jim Wyatt's there. He wasn't going to word it that way, but it is an important question, And I want to, don't give me the no comment. Now it doesn't matter. Now comment. Now is the time to actually comment.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Now is absolutely not the time to comment.
You won. AJ won.
No,
AJ won.
no. He's still got a Super Bowl to play. Now is absolutely not the time to comment. After the Super Bowl, after Sunday, go for it. Now is it's so far done. There's nothing more to say. Right? I get it.
That's why it's okay to comment.
No. Oh, my gosh. Absolutely do not comment here. That is the number one thing not to do. It just stirs up so much crap when he still has a game to play. He is still competing for a Super Bowl. The Titans season has been over for a very, very long time. This is a clean out locker day, question, not – for him, yeah, for us, we want to know the answer. He's made it to the Super Bowl. He made it to the final game. Congrats. But for him, I think he played that perfectly. Of course, I would have loved him to answer it because we would have had fodder. We would have been able to, use it for the show and things like that. But if you're AJ, of course you do not answer that question.
I think I disagree. I think now's the time. Who cares? He's won. He's won, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
AJ
he'll
has
still
won. He's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course he won, but people will still he will still get, if he were to say something, he would get crucified on social media.
Do you really think that?
Oh my gosh,
I
yes.
think Titans fans, 615-737-1025. You can call, you can text, you can tweet at 1025 The Game, at Chase on Game, at
Michelle K-N-E-Z-O-V.
There you go. Thank you. You can do all of that. Would you care if he had come out and said, hey, you know what? Nothing but love, but that's right. I'm here. There's a reason for that. If he had said something to that
Oh
effect.
gosh. Oh gosh.
I mean, look, because that's what it is. If A.J. Brown is with the Titans probably make the playoffs.
Oh, for
but he's
sure.
not. Now he's on the team that's playing in the Super Bowl and has a very good chance to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue if he had said something. I
No,
don't.
Listen, my thing is,
He won.
I don't have an issue. Go say whatever you want. I completely believe he won. I believed he won when they dominated the Titans when they played them earlier this year and when we saw how well the Eagles performed week after week after week. But the way I'm looking at it is, people are going to make a comment. He's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't, right? So he's going to say no comment. If he were to say, well, I'm here, people will just continue with the diva comments, which I do not agree with, and they'll just keep making comments towards him of, yeah, good thing got rid of him and all this stuff, when it's like, there's nothing that needs to be said because it's very clear that he won. He is in the Super Bowl right now, and by him saying no comment, why would you even want to get involved in that when he needs to play? For him, his season is still very much going. You don't want the outside noise, and you know how he is on social media a lot, and he's going to read all that. I think for him, and Titans fans, it's very clear that he won, okay? Let's just give it a rest, wish him good luck. But, think about it, Chase. When we were asking, are fans rooting for the Chiefs, or are they going to will you root for AJ and Brett Kern to get a ring? I think with Brett Kern, people want to root for him because it was more of he'd been with the team for so many years, and of course they chose Ryan Stonehouse, right? And he had a nice little send-off. We didn't know if he was going to retire, and then he gets this opportunity to play with the Eagles, and now he's in the Super Bowl. People want to be happy for him, but fans just have such a negative connotation with AJ after the whole trade situation because he tweeted a couple things. I don't know why fans have such a strong, some of them, hate or negative energy towards him when.
I think some of it subsided, though. They did. And here's the other part of this. August AJ, he would have been like, yeah, well, it's pretty obvious. Now, I think he has grown up a little bit in through all of this. And, Brett Kern said as much when we had him on, that, you've definitely seen this, have an effect on him. But I do think there's some Titans fans that now they want to turn their anger in other places, whether it's John Robinson who got fired or even Vrabel or just the organization as a whole, that now they're kind of Team AJ again because it's well, yeah, look at him. He gets to the Super Bowl. We're the ones that screwed up by trading him. And so it's just, it's just
I think
how
that's
it goes
the way
sometimes.
that they should look at it. I do think some people are not looking at it that way. If you, what are we talking about? The wide receiver core needs to be fully revamped, and that wouldn't be a problem if he was still here.
Yeah. Coming up next, excited to be joined by Joe Fortenbaugh. Of course, he is a co-host of Joe and Amber on ESPN Radio and also Daily Wager that you can see on the ESPN networks. We'll talk a little sports betting with him, talk some Super Bowl. That's all next on Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Your home for MTSU basketball is 94.9 The Fan.
Three ball, yes sir!
All the big shots and moments live here. MTSU basketball is on a station built for you. 94.9 The Fan.
What's up, everybody? Michelle Knesvik here for Superbook Sports. It's the final drive for the championship, and there's no better place to wager on the football title than Superbook Sports. Superbook features the best menu of prop bets in the business. Plus, you can check out their special odds boosts and promotions at superbook.com. With over 3 decades of odds-making experience in Las Vegas, there really is no better place to wager than Superbook Sports. It's been my official sportsbook all football season long, and I have not gone off it in the playoffs, so you should get on it too. Listen, I have got the Eagles minus the 1.5, and I'm also going to take the over in this game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So win some money as one lucky team wins the championship. Download the Superbook Sportsbook app. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789.
Imagine her delight when she unwraps a luxurious spa day from a Moment's Peace, the ultimate day spa and salon in Cool Springs. A spa gift card lets her pick whatever she wants, and whether you spend a little or go lavish, you're a thoughtful romantic this Valentine's Day. But time's running very short. Call 224-0770. Festival, a moment's peace in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall at the intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakers Bridge Avenue. Call or click right now, 224-0770. Online at amomentspeace.com.
Heart of my heart, I love you.
This year, give your Valentine a gift she'll never forget. A song of love delivered in person by a barbershop quartet. At home, at work, anywhere in the Nashville metro area.
To book your singing Valentine, call 615-200-6193 or go to musiccitychorus.org. That's 615-200-6193 or online at musiccitychorus.org.
Join 102.5 The Game and the Preds Energy Team at 3rd and Home in Germantown this Saturday as your Nashville Predators take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Puck drops at 11:30 a.m. Enjoy game day specials and a chance to win tickets and prizes. Go Preds!
Hi, I'm Steve Lehman. Belmont Basketball is the best sports entertainment value in Nashville. Join us. Get your tickets at BelmontBruins.com. Belmont Basketball. It's Bruin time.
Here's a Valentine's reminder from Genesis Diamonds. It's not just the thought that counts, it's the effort too. So let Genesis Diamonds turn your Valentine's Day gift into a grand romantic gesture with our Ultimate Valentine's Day package. Right now, when you spend just $99 or more at Genesis Diamonds, we'll give you gourmet chocolates, a bouquet from Jenny's Flowers, and a gift card toward a romantic dinner at STK Steakhouse. It's just one stop at Genesis Diamonds and you create a total romantic experience. You simply choose which ring, pair of earrings, or bracelet or sparkling pendant best matches your special someone, and we'll take care of the rest. And as always, we'll guarantee the best value price with no commission salespeople. The Ultimate Valentine's Day package. Jewelry, flowers, dinner, and candy from Genesis Diamonds. Sure does make it look like she's worth the extra effort. And that's the thought that really counts. Hurry in now because packages are limited. Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
TSU basketball lives on 102.1 The Ville. Join Coach Brian Petty Collins and the Tigers for every great moment in the OVC. On your home for TSU basketball, 102.1 The Ville and the Ville app. Taking you through your mid-morning.
Love it. Yeah, that's fantastic.
This is Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life.
Where'd you find those crazy characters?
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McKay, Michelle Knezovic here with you. Nick Kieser on the ones and twos as well. Excited to be joined by our next guest, Joe Fortenbaugh from ESPN. He's a part of Daily Wager, which is on ESPN2, and co-host of Joe and Amber Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 Eastern, 6 to 8 Central Time on ESPN Radio. Joe, how you doing? Thanks for doing this.
Oh, it's my pleasure, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. You know, I was doing some hits throughout the course of last week, and you're getting ready for the Super Bowl, and it's like, yeah, you know, we're still a week plus out, so there's some stuff to talk about, but how excited can I get? I don't want to allow myself to get too excited at that point because you still have so much time until the game kicks off. But now here we are, Super Bowl week, past media night, handful of days to get this thing started, so I'm stoked. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. So they did have media night last night, which I don't really know what we get from that. I mean, I was just A.J. Brown obviously gets a lot of talk around here, being the former Titan and now with the Eagles. And one of our hosts asked him, you know, how he feels about the Titans missing the playoffs and he's in the Super Bowl. And he elected to say no comment, which I'm like, come on, just talk a little trash. But what's kind of your thought on how they do this now with the media night and going around to different podiums and talking to the players and coaches?
It's a non-event to me. Like, that's what it is. It's a non-event, and I'm probably not supposed to say things like that, but I really couldn't care less. I attended it 3 years in a row. I believe it was 9, 10, and 11, the 3 years I covered the Super Bowl. So it was Saints, Colts, and then it was Packers, Steelers, and then Giants, Patriots, the second one, not the first one. And those events were decent. If you wanted to get, I would always pick a podium that was further down the line with a lesser-known star, and I would ask some football questions just to get some context on the game and the preparation because I was interested in that. But it's kind of just a you-know-what show. People showing up, media members trying to make it about themselves. You know, I was in Arizona the year Seattle and New England played, and some guy was walking around naked except for the fact that he was inside of a giant, like, wine barrel. And it just, People are trying to draw attention to themselves, so I get it. It's a circus-like affair, but if you're trying to get any coverage on the game or you actually want to talk football, it's probably not the place to go.
Talking to Joe Fortenbaugh of ESPN. So since you are a part of Daily Wager, and we all know that the Super Bowl always brings a lot of different prop bets, not just player props and game props, but a lot of things surrounding the game. Is there a particular prop that stands out to you that you think could be fun?
Yeah, it's like how much time you got, right? Because I got a list of them here. So we can break them down to like player props. We could talk about MVP, anytime touchdown, first touchdown, things of that nature. I would say one that stands out that I think is going to start getting a little bit more attention, Jake Elliott, the kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles, his prop for total points scored is 7.5. So that would essentially be 2 field goals, 2 extra points. That's 8 points. That would be an over. A lot of guys like the under here. I like the under as well. Couple reasons. One, Philadelphia doesn't kick a lot of field goals. Very aggressive on 4th down, and very aggressive, reason number 2, on 2-point conversions. So 7.5 points is a lot for a kicker who might not get the opportunities that the normal kicker would get because he plays on an offense that's very aggressive on 4th down. So I think that one's very popular right now. It's one I'm keeping an eye on. If you want to talk about the first touchdown or an anytime touchdown, Fortson, the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, he's like 60-1 to score the first TD of the game. To score a touchdown at any point, he's 13-1. Those are great prices that are based on a guy who doesn't get a lot of burn. But remember something. Look at all the injuries to the Kansas City wide receiving unit. If these guys come in and don't play or are limited, Fortson suddenly becomes a much more valuable target to quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And if he ends up starting in this game, it ain't going to be 60-1 to score the first touchdown or 13-1 to score an anytime touchdown. So that's the type of thing you want to look for. Guys who might have prices based on limited playing time, but could end up getting a lot of playing time due to some sort of injury. And that lesson carries over to props in baseball, in hockey, and basketball as well.
Okay, Joe, let's take it one step further. You said anytime touchdown. What about a 2-score? Do you have a guy that you like either on the Eagles or on the Chiefs to get 2 TDs in the Super Bowl?
If I was to break it down, I do know that playing Jalen Hurts to score 1 is like plus 113. He's found the end zone in 7 of his last 9 games. Kansas City has not done well against running quarterbacks this season, so that's the obvious one right out of the gate. If I'm thinking about a guy scoring 2 TDs, Hurts stands out. Now, you're not going to get a great price on something like that. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it's A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith might be intriguing as well. If you look at Kansas City's history this season against number 1 wide receivers, they have really struggled. If you look at just the first 6 weeks of the season, Hollywood Brown, and he was number 1 at that time because what's his name was suspended, DeAndre Hopkins. Hollywood Brown, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans, Mike Williams. Those were 5 of the first 6 games for Kansas City. Those are all number 1s who scored touchdowns. So A.J. Brown, I hate to say it in Tennessee, he could be one of those guys. Yeah, I figured that was coming. I probably should have just kept that one to myself. That could be a guy who has success against this defense. And then again, like I said, a player like Fortson for Kansas City, keep an eye on those numbers because he could be getting some excellent playing time based on the fact that there's injuries to other guys at the position.
We got Joe Fortenbaugh from ESPN Radio on with us. Joe, my stepdad's a huge gambler, and he is loving all this gambling talk right now. But I have a quick question on maybe a first half or a second half prop. Do you like the Eagles over in the first half?
All right, so when it comes to Philadelphia, they've been the best first-half team in the NFL all season long, right? They're number 1 in first-half scoring. They've been blowing the opposition out. They cover first-half lines at a ridiculous rate. So a lot of people obviously are going to talk about that leading into this game. Do we follow it again? It's a cheap price because it's a tight spread. Here's the one reason I have for pause. And I had him in the first half against the Niners last week. I had him in the first half against the Giants 2 weeks ago. Andy Reid is extraordinary when he has extra preparation. When he has an extra week to prepare coming off the bye, whether it's straight up or against the spread, Andy Reid is phenomenal. Now, on top of that, there's this whole issue of teams with experience in the Super Bowl versus teams without. I know people will say, well, the Eagles were here 5 years ago. There's not a lot of guys left from that team that are still on this roster. And what worries me is when you've been in the Super Bowl recently, you understand what it's like the week leading into the game. All the people that are going to reach out for ticket requests, for media requests, getting your family set in Arizona, all the things you have to deal with. If you've been there, you understand that you need to get all of that done early so you can focus on the game. If you haven't been there, you can get caught up in all the distractions. So that's something that worries me from a Philadelphia versus Kansas City perspective. The Chiefs have been there twice very recently. A lot of these Eagles haven't. So to bet the Eagles in the first half, I got to be confident that they're going to come out firing like they normally do, and I've got two big reasons. The Super Bowl hangover, or the delay coming in, or the experience, I should say, and the Andy Reid off a bye thing. Those are two reasons that are giving me pause for playing the Eagles in the first half this time around.
Okay, and taking a look, away from the Super Bowl for a second and looking at the quarterback market, there's been a lot of chatter on where Aaron Rodgers will end up. What do you think about his odds of maybe landing here with the Tennessee Titans, or is there a specific team that you think Aaron will head to next season?
So when it comes to odds for things like that, we can play that stuff offshore, meaning books that are located outside of the country, but a lot of times you can't find that in America based on rules, regulations, all this other stuff. I'm not going to bore anyone with that. But if you're looking to bet it, when it comes to Rodgers, so much is up in the air. I'm probably going to sound like a homer because I'm here in Las Vegas, but I would look to the Raiders. I would look to the Raiders. I think that based on the season they just had with their new front office and coaching staff, they want to get splashy. Derek Carr is going to be leaving. They've got some money available in which they can go make some moves, and they're going to want to move this thing in the right direction. And I think if you're Rodgers and you look around at your options, he's a golfer. There's a ton of great golf here in Las Vegas. There's no state income tax. There are a lot of great qualities to living in a place like this for a guy like him. You go to New York and you're going to have to deal with that media. There's no local media here. No one's going to be breathing down your neck or putting pressure on you. It doesn't happen in this town. We got a lot of other things going on. We're not going to crush the local football team when the reality is we all came from other areas and we root for different teams to begin with. So if I was to make a wager on that, I'd be looking at the Raiders, but no inside information or anything like that.
Talking to Joe Fortenbaugh of ESPN. All right, it's a Tuesday of Super Bowl week, so we're in bankroll builder mode right now. College basketball, some college hoops tonight. Anything stand out to you that you like?
I don't have anything in hoops or hockey or anything just yet. I would love to, but I don't. But I will say this. If you're looking to get ready to try to make some money, and this will lead you right into the start of the Super Bowl, the Waste Management Open gets set from Arizona, same location as the Super Bowl, on Thursday. Okay, the tournament will be over on Sunday. They have an early start. They get it done before the Super Bowl starts, so you'd be able to cash those tickets right before kickoff if you wanted to make some investments. And this is the best event on tour. I mean, in terms of the party atmosphere on location, I was there when it was a non-Super Bowl year. I was also there when it was a Super Bowl year. People get nuts at this thing. Put it on your bucket list. It's a great event to attend. So I'll give you this. I'm going to give you 3 names right now that you can play to win this thing. All right? Colin Morikawa at 25-1, Sungjae Im at 30-1, and Hideki Matsuyama 35-1. I'd play futures on those 3 guys. If you're looking for a longer shot, Sam Burns is 55-1. I'd be looking to take a shot there. And then if you're looking to try to make some quick money, Hideki Matsuyama to be your first-round leader. So maybe you could cash that on Thursday, and then you're ready to roll into the weekend. I'd love to have some hoops or hockey for you guys. The thing with me is with this week, I'm really locking in on not just the Super Bowl. A lot of that hay is in the barn, but this golf tournament is one that I absolutely love, and there are so many great golfers in the field. I'm going to have a lot of action on that. So hopefully the listeners out there, great listeners in Tennessee, will be interested in making some golf money this weekend.
I have taken notes, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
Diligent notes. Diligent, orderly notes.
I'm placing the bets right here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
There you go. No doubt.
There you go.
Joe, appreciate it as always. It's good to talk to you again, and we will do it again soon. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Chase. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thanks,
I miss
Joe.
you, buddy. Hopefully we can get together again sometime soon, but if not, reach out anytime. I love coming on with you guys, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with your audience. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Joe.
I'll be in Vegas in March, so I'll look you up.
Yeah. Make sure you give me the call well in advance. Let's get booked, because if you don't do these things in organized fashion, if you've ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, they can go sideways in a hurry.
That is very true and a very good reference. Thanks, Joe.
See you guys.
Joe Fortenbaugh, ESPN on Daily Wager as well, co-hosts of Joe and Amber on ESPN Radio, 6 to 8 Central Time, on that you can hear here on some nights as well. But, appreciate Joe. And, hey, good notes on golf. I had to take some notes there. I think that could be definitely a good play. Coming up next, we will get back into the Titans. You talked about Aaron Rodgers a little bit there. We started the show talking about Aaron Rodgers and how realistic it is that he could come to the Titans. We'll get back into that next. It's Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
185!
Every team needs a quarterback.
185! Take!
That's why we have
Hasselbeck, bootleg, rollout, toss, touchdown!
Tim.
You can run good plays at the right time.
ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck gives his expertise on all things NFL.
You evaluate players, and then you're turning them over to the coaching staff.
Every Tuesday at noon.
At the right time.
With Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. Tim on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I've been talking about Hair Club for a while now. They are a proud sponsor of Chase and Michelle, and I wanted to do something about my thinning hair, so I gave them a call because I love my hair and I love my look, and that's why I called Hair Club. No matter what it is, restoration, regrowth, small problems, big problems, whatever, they have answers, and they are tailor-made just for you because guess what? We're all a little bit different. All you need to do is go in for a free consultation, and they'll help you out with whatever your hair situation might be. Hair Club has that solution. Fill out the form at hairclub.com/chase. That's hairclub.com/chase to schedule your free consultation, and they'll give you 10% off anything that you happen to purchase just because I sent you. You can also text Chase, C-H-A-S-E, to 694-247. That's 694-247. It's Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life.
Football fans, FanDuel has the perfect way for everyone to get in on the Super Bowl 57 action with a no-sweat same-game parlay. That means everyone gets bonus bets back if your Super Bowl same-game parlay does not hit. Joe Ruggs here to let you know it does not matter if you're new to FanDuel or if you already have an account because same-game parlays let you combine all your favorite bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Start building your own or just bet a popular same-game parlay already made for you in America's #1 sportsbook. As I'm looking at this game, first of all, I go back and forth on Chiefs, Eagles. I think it's going to be a great game, but I'm going to go A.J. Brown anytime touchdown. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts over on the rushing yards, Patrick Mahomes over on the passing yards. That would be my parlay at this point. Now, if you're new, sign up with promo code Joe102 when you download the app. Either way, you're going to get bonus bets back if your no-sweat same-game parlay does not hit. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And you must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. 3+ legs, minimum $1 bet required. Refund issued is now withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line, 800-889-9789.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors. Rated #1 in durability and owner experience. They're designed for easy operation and feature performance-matched attachments. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for up to 72 months, plus save up to $800 on select equipment. Now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coleman Tractor Company, your local Kubota dealer in Clarksville, Nashville, Paris, and White House today.
Buying or selling a house doesn't have to be overwhelming. Wouldn't it be nice if you had 1 or 2 people there to help you with everything? That's exactly what the team at Regal Realty Group will do for you. Writing up the contract, scheduling the inspection and appraisal, meeting deadlines, making sure all paperwork is correct with the state, basically making sure that you are protected throughout the real estate process. Regal Realty Group will do it all for you, including their in-house title company, Monarch Title. It's contract to close convenience. Give them a call at 866-OUTKICK and let them get to work for you.
Preds fans, you coming out for tonight's big game? The pre-party action is at Landshark Bar and Grill in Margaritaville, steps away from Bridgestone Arena. Enjoy great specials like $3 off any appetizer in the bar area and $20 bucket specials on Bud, Bud Light, Mick Ultra, and Landshark beer. A sports TV viewing mecca, the Landshark Bar and Grill is a Lower Broadway must-see. That's the Landshark Bar and Grill in Margaritaville on the corner of 4th Avenue and Broadway. Stop in before the Preds game tonight.
Want to weigh in on the conversation? It's a brain booster. Slide into our DMs. Or just text or call at 615-737-1025. Our phone line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
I got some good news.
Taking you through your mid-morning, this is Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life. On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hey, it's Love Week. Brought to you by Moments Peace Day Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs. You can tune in to Robbie and Rexroad tomorrow morning between 6 and 9 for details on how you could win a $100 gift card to a Moments Peace Day Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs and qualify for a chance to win a $1,000 Genesis Diamonds gift card. And shout out to Robbie and Rexroad as they've been named top 20 mid-market sports morning shows by Barrett Sports Media. Once again, find themselves in the top 20. So congrats to Robbie, Joe, and you, Michelle.
Yes.
For that. That's very, very cool.
Yeah, we didn't even know. Actually, Nick sent me a text this morning, and I was like, guys, look, we made it. We made the list. Yeah, it's been awesome working with them the last year and a half. So.
Year and a half? That's all it's been for you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A little bit more than a year and a half.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Some days more than others.
Exactly. 615-737-1025. That is our phone line and text line driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. So I tell you what, I said we'd get back into Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like that right now, because I've been looking through the text line, we were talking about A.J. Brown and his quotes to Jared that I know we'll hear more of. And there was one that was like, can we please stop talking about A.J. Brown? He got traded. Let's move on. And I laugh at those because, and I'm not saying that this particular texter was in this category, but, for a long time there were people that they kept wanting to talk about him and bring it up and how, whether it was the right move or a mistake or what have you. And now those same people are like, all right, let's just move on. Is that because he's in the Super Bowl and you're bitter, or are you really tired of it? And again, not picking on this particular texter, but I thought that was interesting. What's going to drive people more crazy? A.J. Brown coming back up or Aaron Rodgers to the Titans?
I think A.J. I think A.J. because of the way it happened, right? The trade on draft night, it was a bombshell. Then he goes to the Eagles. They had such a successful season. They found themselves in the Super Bowl. Whereas I feel like, when it's the offseason and you're talking about quarterback movement, there's a lot of what ifs and maybe he could come here and here are the reasons why. And that actually is, listen, I don't think it's going to happen, but there is a small percentage chance that, it could happen, right? Anything could happen really in free agency. So I think fans, and listen, don't let me speak for you. Let us know on our text line, 615-737-1025. But I think from what I can gauge from our text line so far is that, they're more open to looking at the team and what the team could become in this upcoming season rather than, looking at players, phenomenal players that they had on their team that are now competing for a Super Bowl with a different team.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I do, but I do think that there's a segment of Titans fans that are over it, and they are like, hey, you look, dude, enjoy it. You've deserved it. You deserve it. Our organization is the one that screwed up by trading you, and right now it looks like they did, and so that's just kind of the way it is. I mean, look, if the Eagles win, obviously. Brett Kern's somebody I got to know over the years. I'm going to be very, very happy for Brett. I'm happy for Brett that he's playing in the Super Bowl. I'm going to be happy for AJ too.
Of course.
Because AJ had a hell of a year, and he deserves it. And he stayed healthy. And I am happy to admit to him that, look, I was wrong. I was wrong in saying that, yeah, it was a good move when they traded you. It wasn't working out. Wasn't going to be a fit. You didn't deserve the money. And I still let me take that back. He deserved money. I thought the Eagles overpaid. I still kind of feel like they overpaid, but he backed it up this year. So if he can continue to back it up, then I'm going to be even more wrong.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Chase, you weren't the only one, in that position. I think when it happened initially, you thought, oh, wow, it was more of a shock aspect. I remember the next morning, Joe on our show we kind of were like the first segment, we just didn't even really know what to say at first because we were just in shock that it happened. And then you kind of try to justify it, right? Of, okay, well, maybe Treylon Burks, right? We don't know how this trade will turn out. And I mean, it went in AJ's favor, right? He felt he deserved that money, and he played like he deserved that money this year. And, contracts like this aren't just about the first season. They're about the second season and the third season. And, what does this contract look like in a couple years down the line? That is also, too, something important to mention. Yeah, right now he's in the Super Bowl, and every player wants a Super Bowl ring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the ultimate goal. So for him, the wound is still healing for Titans fans, especially with the way this season ended and John Robinson getting fired, and him being there. I feel like is almost like salt in the wound because of the trade, if that makes sense. So it's like, he's there and he should be on our team, and it's a whole thing, and it sucks. But you have a new general manager now, and this team has a lot of holes to fix, but you should be happy for AJ because at the end of the day, like, you can look at his tweets and whatever and think you know him as a person, but you don't, No. So you can make speculations of how you think he is, but you don't know him as a person, and just be happy for people. That's my pet peeve when people are like, meh.
I agree with you on that. 615-737-1025. Let's go to Chris. Chris wants to weigh in on things. Welcome in, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks, guys. How are you all?
Oh, thanks.
I'm kind of surprised AJ didn't have a comment. Seems like he always has a comment, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the reason that a lot of us Titans fans are upset with AJ, and I know for me personally, I don't dislike him as a person, and I would have loved to have him on our team this year. I hate that we lost him. I think all Titans fans can agree with that. My issue with AJ is the way he handled the situation. I felt like he was kind of really immature about it. And the way he bashed us as fans, like when he left, he was supposed to host this camp for all these kids and their families who had paid for them to go to this camp. And he says, no, I'm mad at Titans, so forget those kids. I'm not doing this camp. And then he bashed the fans. He talked trash about us. And I took that personally. And so that upset me as a fan. Now, am I happy to see him in the Super Bowl? Sure. I'm always happy to see anyone who worked hard and deserves it to have success. It hurts me real deep because I loved AJ, and then the way he trashed us, that really upset me, and I don't care for the man anymore.
Okay, that's fair. Thanks for the call, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
I mean, I don't know if he really did he really trash the Titans?
That was kind of my question. Listen, the camp situation, I do think that he should have came back. That was for kids, I think that just I think he should have came back and tried to make it work or try to get another player to do it or something like that. As far as the trashing the fans, I mean, I feel like I don't remember all the tweets just because that was a long time ago now. We're coming in on almost a year ago, but I know he kind of tweeted cryptic things and then would delete them, but also a lot of times those are people interpret them however they want to, and if the shoe fits for a certain situation that they think or want it to be about. Listen, if there was something he said that I missed, a quote or a video or something, send it in, but I can't seem, Chase, to remember him openly trashing.
Yeah, I never felt like it was that. Now, do I think the camp was a misstep? Mm-hmm. Deleting the tweets was a misstep. I don't have a problem. Like I just said, I think he should have made a comment. If he gets asked about the Titans, make it funny, whatever, but say something other than no comment. That was my thing to him. If you want to tweet, then go ahead and tweet. Stand by it. Don't delete it. Like, that was my problem. Like, I don't have a problem with you saying something, but stand by it and understand what comes with it. So that's where I kind of disagreed with AJ and how he handled things. Coming up next, I'm going to let you and Nick handle things because somebody just brought me a pizza. So
what? I'm hungry now.
I know, I'm kidding. I wanted to get to this yesterday, and we couldn't get to it, but there are a couple of Tennessee lawmakers that want to make a new holiday surrounding something that's happening this weekend. We'll discuss that coming up next on Chase and Michelle, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Hi, I'm Jussi Saros. And this is Smashville.
Now here's a try off to the side. What a stop made by UC Saros there.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network. ESPN 1025, The Game.
The final drive for the championship is here, and there's no better place to wager on the football title tilt than Superbook Sports. Superbook features the best menu of prop bets in the business, plus you can check out their special odds boosts and promotions over at Superbook.com. They have over 3 decades of odds-making experience in Las Vegas, and there's no better place to wager than Superbook Sports. Win some money as one lucky team will win the championship. Download the Superbook Sports app today. If you're looking ahead to the big game, it's Philadelphia and Kansas City, 1.5, whichever way you want to go. I'm not revealing my way until the end of the week, but it's right there on the Superbook Sports app. Download that app. Make it your official sportsbook app, just like me. Visit Superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
Hey, Robbie Stanley here, and I'm telling you, this year the only app you need at your Super Bowl party is FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Download FanDuel now and use promo code ROB so you can bet Super Bowl 57 with a no-sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel lets you bet on everything from the money line to point spreads to who will score a touchdown. I'm going with Philly in this matchup, and I'll go with Jalen Hurts as an anytime touchdown scorer running the ball. But you take it any way you want to take it, all on a top-rated sportsbook app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Best of all, you can get paid your winnings instantly. So join FanDuel today with promo code ROB to claim your no-sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
In football, we all take our hits, but protection keeps you in the game. That's why we always wore our helmet and our pads on the field. Life, too, comes at you with risks. So I got vaccinated and boosted for COVID-19. Hi, I'm former Tennessee Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders. Talk to your doctor and get the information that you need to make the informed choice. Gear up, Tennessee. Protect yourself and family against COVID-19.
More information at nflagearup.org/Tennessee.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Want to see our smiling faces? You can watch us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live.
We are good to go.
Presented by Superbook Sports, voted #1 sportsbook in Vegas.
Well, you've got the whole world listening. What do you got to say?
You're listening to Chase and Michelle, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life. On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, Preds fans, tune in tomorrow night for Smashville Live at 6 o'clock. This one will be live from Bridgestone Arena at the Nash Vegas event, and it is a ticketed event, so you have to have a ticket to that. But you can visit NashvillePredators.com for more information on that. But looking forward to having Smashville Live on the arena floor tomorrow. It's presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, Little Harpeth Beer, and Superbook Sports. So that will all start at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Speaking of Superbook Sports, you can, if you want to win a pair of tickets in our lower bowl, section 102, you can text the keyword Superbook, all one word, to the game text line at 615-737-1025, and you'll be entered to win. Win with 102.5, 106.3 The Game, You can win with Superbook. Chase McKay, Michelle Knesvik, Nick Keiser here with you. As I saw this over the weekend, and I am all for this, by the way. So a lot of states have kind of been looking at maybe replacing Columbus Day as a holiday. And one thing that two Tennessee lawmakers, Senator London Lamar of Memphis and Representative Joe Towns of Memphis, have introduced language that would replace the volunteer state's Columbus Day holiday with a new holiday the first Monday after the Super Bowl and would enshrine the change in state law. And so this is actually a bill that is being proposed that would make Super Bowl Monday a state holiday. So I would assume that would mean, maybe day off school, the banks are closed, all those things. I'm all for this because I think it should be. I think there are two sports-related days that should be national holidays: Super Bowl Monday and opening day in the majors. I would support that all day long because I think baseball is still –
And the first day of March Madness, if it's not on a Saturday.
No, I say no. Because, those Thursday and Friday, those games, there's always Thursday and Friday games. Because the fun of that is the excuses that people come up with to skip work. And now you have a lot of businesses that have just accepted it, and it's like it's a day off, especially that Thursday. So, we can't get too carried away. But I think those two, Super Bowl Monday and opening day in Major League Baseball, should be national holidays. But I like this. Now, I'm gonna say one more thing on this. Because people would be like, maybe around our place would be like, oh, cool, we get a day off. We work in sports radio, so I don't think we'd be able to get a day off.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. So, do we get the day off?
No, unfortunately, you do not. That's kind of an important day for what we do, is reacting to the Super Bowl. So really, it doesn't affect you.
I know. What do fans think? So what did you say? It's not getting Columbus Day off anymore and just
Columbus Day, I guess, is just like people I think kind of have a what does it matter, now, because it was so long ago. It's just always kind of because he discovered the continent, but
Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492.
Well done.
Don't you remember that?
Well done. Do you teach that to your class?
No,
you bring that up?
Can't say I do.
Okay. Well, you should.
They should already know that by the time they're in college.
I would hope so.
If I have to teach that, we have other problems happening.
There's a lot of things that I thought people should know by the time they got to college, and when I got to college, I realized that they didn't. So
that is very fair.
I did. I knew a lot.
Okay. We'll believe you.
Yeah, as you should. So you're all for it.
Listen, I'm for both. Why do we got to get rid of one holiday?
You're saying we need more holidays?
Yeah, I'm saying we need more days off work.
For
people, because I think people always need just a mental day, Super Bowl. Listen, I'm all for the people.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you one thing that I would be for is, and I know that there are some businesses that have gone to this model that the work week has become a 4-day work week. And Thursday becomes the new Friday. Friday is an off day. And so you have a 3-day weekend. And essentially instead of an 8-hour work day, it's a 10-hour work day. I would sign up for that. And I would even sign up for that in what we do. I know, my bosses may not like that, but I would sign up for that.
I don't know if I would sign up for that with my hours because I feel like 11, I'm pretty much donezo. But, what would that be? So that would be a 7 to...
No, but I'm saying we wouldn't even do shows on Friday. It would be Monday through Thursday, and then Friday would be the new Saturday. Oh. So you and Junie could do Friday instead of Saturday.
So, but I don't know. I don't know if I would sign up for that because what would I go 5 a.m. to 2 or 3?
You'd be all right.
No.
You'd be fine.
Okay, why don't you try it?
I've done it.
Till 3 every day for over... Okay, well, we'll just switch schedules then.
Yes, I've done it. I used to work, you little whippersnappers, I used to work overnights. I'd come in at midnight, and I wouldn't leave some days until 10. Because I would a lot of times help with the morning show. I was tired, but I just sleep all day.
Do you want a cookie or a medal?
Both.
Okay, I'll get those ready.
I think I deserve both.
Okay.
For my contributions.
I'm up for both holidays. I mean, I think it's an interesting idea. I mean, I feel like a lot of people probably take work off that day anyways, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our business, obviously, you said is different, but I'm assuming a lot of people who have maybe 9-to-5s, if you're having a Super Bowl party, I feel like that probably is I would say that's probably a big day as far as, submitting that into your PPO or whatever, your paid time off, or PTO. PPO is something we use here. PTO. There you go.
One texter says Columbus Day should not be a holiday, and then Andrew gets mad at me. So old, like the birth of Jesus. Skip Christmas.
Yeah, no, nobody will be
okay,
skipping.
that's a fair counterpoint, Andrew.
It is true.
That is a fair Okay, so Andrew, what do you do on Columbus Day to celebrate? That's what I want to know. If it means that much to you.
Okay, well, but then you can just flip the question. What are you doing on Super Bowl Monday to celebrate? You're just recovering.
Yeah, you're recovering. Look, there's no BS here. Like that, it would be a holiday because everybody's getting too tanked during the game and eating too many chicken wings, and they need a day to recover.
Food coma, major food coma.
Yeah. So there you go. That'll do it for us, though. Preds back in action tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. Coming up next, it's Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. I'm actually going to stick around with Caroline for a little bit. D-Mace needing the day off today, and Willie will be along after morning skate. But we'll be back at it at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Caroline, Willie, D-Mace is next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
One is smart.
This has just been a constant trend for this team.
One is funny.
That's right.
Funny looking, maybe. Chase and Michelle with Chase McCabe.